I would say basically non-existent.
I think that politics is a mostly male-dominated arena, but there's definitely some successful women in politics as well, and the ones who are successful do have quite a presence and an impact while they're there.
I think that women in politics are hopefully having an increasing role. I think that, I mean, the men usually do hold the more dominant positions, but even with like the Secretary of States in the past, there have been a lot of females, and I think that slowly that women are gaining more, or getting more positions in the Senate and the House and everything.
I think that not enough women hold public office. We are now the majority of the population, and we are very much underrepresented in politics. And as far as voting, I don't know what the numbers go. I would assume that women vote just as frequently as men do, but I think it's getting women to run for office that's the issue. I actually just read a really interesting piece by Lawless and Fox. They're two political science junkies, and they wrote about how women don't think to run for office because they can't. Women don't often wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, I think I'll run for office today. And that's something that men can do because they've had the privilege of holding office for so long. So I think it's getting women to run because they did a study that found when women and men run, they have equal chances of winning. It's getting women to that point. So I think that I would like to see a gender parity eventually.
I think women, it's interesting that women are always such a big concern when it comes to elections. You know, they always say like, oh, they're going out and getting the women vote. And I do think it's great that we see more women involved in politics, but I think the title of women in politics is a little bit misleading. It sounds like women have a larger role in politics than they actually do. And just because there's, you know, they're worried about that segment of the voters, or that we've now had like a woman, you know, a Supreme Court justice who is a woman, or we've had a Speaker of the House in the last decade who is a woman, doesn't mean that women are in the same playing field as men in politics. I don't think we will really be there until we have like a woman president. You know, I think it's still sad that like the first ladies or the candidates' wives are portrayed as the stereotypical housewife, or like the support, you know, the one who's looking up to their husband and supporting their husband, versus why aren't they the ones running? And I wasn't a huge fan of Hillary Clinton's politics necessarily, but I loved seeing that reversal of roles. And to me, that's really what that phrase women in politics is supposed to mean. It's supposed to be an empowering phrase for women versus the women just being the ones supporting the husband and taking the back seat.